Hi, I'm Courtney and I own the Order of the Planner stencils, and I am working on a project called Soft Launch 2026, which is a slow and intentional way of getting our planners ready for 2026 before the rush of the holiday season. This is the video for week 1, which is going to be September 1st through 7th. If you want an explanation of the whole project, you can go to my pinned videos and it'll be the first one there. So for week 1 of Soft Launch 2026, we have a few steps. I wanted to kind of ease us into this, but also these are kind of some of the big questions. So it's not going to be a lot of doing things, but it is going to be a lot of like introspection and seeing how things have worked for you so far. And I hope that you'll be able to do this and kind of combine it with week 2, because I know I am getting a late jump start on this. I honestly thought of this project September 1st. So, join me and let's get this done. So there's 3 steps for the Soft Launch 2026 week 1. The first one is to evaluate your 2025 planners. Are you using 1? Are you using 5? Is there anything you can add, or is there anything you want us to take away? And what has worked well for you? Now is a great time to kind of browse Pinterest or TikTok or YouTube and social media to see things that you think might work well, and to look through your 2025 planner or planners and see the things that you haven't really used or you don't think were actually as helpful as you wanted them to be. And then if there's any features or specific planners that you are thinking about, it's a good time to jot them down as well. And kind of rolling into that is the second step, to make a 2026 wish list. What are the things that you need in 2026 to be organized, to be planned? Are there any special events that are coming up? What are the things that you are going to need to make your planning game work? So the final step of this week's project is to make a 2026 planner lineup. What I'm saying for this part is not necessarily or even really what brand you're using or what type of planner. I'm not asking you to decide on a bullet journal or a dated monthly bound. I'm simply saying to sit down and decide, how many planners are you using? Are you doing one everyday carry where it's a catch-all of everything? Are you using a traveler's notebook that's going to have 6 different inserts? And what are those inserts going to be? So this doesn't necessarily mean the brand of the planner, but simply the function of each planner or planners you're going to be using. So some examples of these would be an everyday planner that's your catch-all of everything, a fitness planner, a wedding planner, a faith planner. Do you need a planner for your business? Are you going to be using a reading planner this year? Or do you want a journal that's going to be specifically journaling? Now, if you do know what specific types of any of these planners you're going to be using, it's a good time to go through and see if they've already done their 2026 launch and kind of start browsing and seeing if there's anything that's talking to you. And if they haven't done their 2026 launch, it's a good time to note down if they have a date set, and if not, to make a note in the next couple of weeks to check back to that. So since this is kind of a shorter week, I did actually want to include my planner lineup and my answers to all these things in this same video, so we can kind of go through the first week together. So for the first one, my planner evaluation, this year I used 3 planners. I used one everyday planner, which was an A5 bullet journal, one reading planner, which was a Bookworm Life weekly reading planner from Peanut Butter Taco. And then I also started junk journaling this year. And these systems all worked really well for me. It's the first year that I've really stuck with my reading planner. I've been loving junk journaling, and my bullet journal is just my planner piece. That's where I love all my everyday things, and I have no reason to change that. As far as sizes, I think all the sizes worked. I think eventually I might switch to a larger junk journal, but right now, one of the things that I wanted to start junk journaling for is to use my stash. And so I've been doing that, and I have a lot of the same size junk journals that I'll be using. So I'm happy and content in that. The reading planner has been working great for me. The weekly, the brand, everything. And I don't have any intention of changing that either. And then for my everyday planner, bullet journaling is where my planner piece is. Like I said, I'm happy in an A5 dot grid notebook, and I, again, have no plans on changing that. And as far as things to add, I do have one other planner that I want to add into my everyday lineup, and that's a planner for my business. A dedicated business planner is going to be something that will work for me, so I'm going to add that into my 2025 lineup, or 2026 lineup. And then the final, I'm going to say category instead of specific type of planner, is my extra planners. these are planners that I really don't need to touch to set up for 2026, but there are things that I pull out occasionally throughout the year or projects that I want to work on. So I'm not including those specifically in this project, but I did want to make a note that they will be technically in my planner lineup, but they're not in my like everyday planner lineup. But I'm looking at my soft launch for 2026. I'm really only looking at the 4 main planners that I need to set up to be ready for 2026. So that'll be my bullet journal, my reading planner, my junk journal, and my business planner. Now, I'm actually super fortunate that I have 3 of the 4 of those already. They were things that I pulled from my stash or I'm already using. And then the 4th one, I do know the brand and I know the planner that I'll be using. I'm just waiting for the business to release their 2026 planner. So that's going to be kind of something we talk about next week. But if you're like me and you know the things that you want, now is a great time this week to either order it if you know what you want and you have it in your budget, or write down usually around when it's released and kind of around the price. Like I know the reading planner that I use, I believe last year the weekly was about $45 and that it released like the first week of October. So I have written that down so that I know like at the end of September to kind of start looking and seeing if it has been released yet. So that's all I have for week 1 of soft launch of 2026. Thank you guys for joining this and being excited about it. I hope you will continue to join me and come back next week for week 2. I'm hoping to post them every Sunday now. I know this is being posted on Friday, so it's kind of a quick turnaround, but I hope you can take the weekend. And I think weeks 1 and 2 are going to kind of blend into each other. So if you're not seeing this until week 2, it's totally cool. Have a catch up. It'll be great.